Hey all, so let me explain the symbols on the Bosch oven so you can get cooking and started right away without hassle. Let's go. So first off, you can see here on the left hand side you've got the settings dial. Over on the right hand side then you've got the temperature. Now we're going to focus mostly on the settings dial here. And so there's a close-up of the settings dial. Just turn it to the one you want. So let's have a look at what each mean. A lot of confusing symbols. So first up, this one is the 3D hot air for baking or roasting on one or more levels. The heat comes from the back element and it distributes that heating evenly throughout the oven. Next up, you've got the hot air steam, which is for frying meat or baking bread, and you do need to use the water bowl with it because this one is to distribute that steam, as you might have guessed, and it keeps things from, well, it keeps your meat moist and it keeps your bread and cakes also from getting too dry. So this one, good, but you must use the bowl that comes with the oven or a suitable replacement for it. The hot air gentle one is nice because it doesn't need any preheating. It goes from 120 Celsius up to 230, but you can only cook on one levels and it only uses, and this is a bit confusing, residual heat. If you open it at any point, it will increase the heat. Okay, so it's a little bit of a strange one. Do not open the door. You do not need to preheat and you must not open the door to get this one to work. Next up is the pizza setting, which is good for pizza or any other food needing heat from the bottom because the heat comes from the bottom and back wall elements. So anything where you want to cook from the bottom up, that's your setting. Looks a bit like Pac-Man, but it's the pizza and I suppose you could say bread. Okay, and the next one, the line at the bottom, is just bottom heating. Final baking or cook food in a bain-marie. So it just comes from the bottom element. And again, if you know you want a bain-marie, so things I think like souffle and quiche, so on, then this one will be the one for you. Now, the next up, I'll show you in a moment the temperature settings because you've got the full surface grill, suitable for grilling flat items like vegetables and sausages and so on, or even making toast. But I mean, I never make toast in a grill. The manual also recommends gratinate food, which I've since learned is just things like potato gratin. And it's just for anything you want to crisp up the top. However, to use it, if you look at the dial over on the right, which is the temperature setting, you've got to set the grill setting on the left first. Then over on the dial on the right, you'll see these Roman numerals to indicate the grill settings. Why they don't just say that it's 240 degrees or whatever, I don't know. But the grill setting 1 is there. And I assume then grill setting 2 is 280 degrees and grill setting 3 is either 290 or 300. It doesn't say, but high, medium and low grill settings, again, in concert with the grill setting over on the left. Just give that some good time to warm up though. Okay, the next one is for hot air grilling, and it's actually for roasting poultry, whole fish or larger pieces of meat. The grill element and the fan come on alternately to circulate that heat, and they switch on and off throughout the cooking to keep that heat flowing around the food. This feels a bit more experimental to me. I haven't properly tried it, but it is there, and it does say, as I said, roast poultry, whole fish or larger pieces of meat with this. Now the two lines, as you might have guessed, is top and bottom heating, but it's only to bake or roast on one level. So this is good for things like cakes with moist toppings and similar. This next interesting symbol is actually rapid heating. It's not a cooking setting. It is just to super fast heat your oven. So if you're in a hurry and you need to get your oven hot quickly, turn this on and then you change it to the setting you need. It has to be over 100 Celsius. It takes a few seconds to start, so it'll just pause for a moment and then it'll beep once it's at temperature. Then from there you just choose your setting. Mainly this would be a 3D, hot air or top or bottom heating. Pretty straightforward, just the light, no heating. So if you want to just leave it on after you finish cooking to remind yourself it's there, there's that. Next up, the cutlery symbol is just actually called programs in the manual. Now this one gets quite technical and detailed, so I won't go into all the detail, but if you look over on the right hand side under the clock, you need the kg setting here, or the weight setting, because the programs are all based on weight. Okay, so you need to set your weight and your temperature to get your right program. I'll just give you a flavor of what some of these are. So first off, you've got chicken unstuffed that's ready to go in the right container, and you set the weight, put the programs on, and you set the recommended temperature, and it will then cook as long as you put it on the right shelf as well. So you can see you've still got a fair amount to do, but this should give you the best result. It's usually for as you can see, bigger dishes, dishes that take longer. So you set the program on the dial, set the temperature and press the kilogram, and it will then adjust accordingly. Next up is the pyrolytic self-cleaning mode. Now that's a big word, it sounds a bit fancy, I had to look it up. So obviously you might know pyromaniac, people obsessed with fire. So pyrolytic essentially means that things break down and become loose from heating. So the self-cleaning really just blasts what's in the oven to keep it clean, and it gets rid of the bits and the grime. I haven't used this one, so I can't comment on it, but it does sound great to have an oven that is self-cleaning. You'd probably want to run it for a good while and maybe want to brush stuff out before you do it, but it is there as a nice option. Next up, you've also got a childproof lock, and the way you do that is by pressing and holding the kilogram button, as we showed earlier, just under the clock, which I've conveniently clipped out of this slide. But anyway, you hold that until it appears, and then to deactivate it, you will long press on it again to get it to go. You can't have a setting with this. I've tried to use this on mine and I really couldn't get it to work. So I'll do a follow-up video when I've got it working. It is very confusing, but it is to stop kids changing the dial once something is going if you're not looking. But if you can't use it, not the best. I've got links down below if you'd like to check any of these out and support the channel. Also, I've got more videos to watch here, so check those out, and I'll see you in another video soon. Like and subscribe if it was helpful. Thank you for watching. See you soon.